What an absolute shit show, as always. Oh, dear me. Welcome, everybody, as ever, to a delayed, shambolic, last minute, underprepared, overreaching, and absolutely terrible, goal-riddled champ manager extravaganza. That is the Small Horse Invitational Tournament. We will be having a look over last week's fixtures. Ahead of that, we will have a quick recap of the league. Look ahead to the fixtures this week. Hey, well done, Tato. Welcome. It's 9:30 already, mate. I am absolutely fucked from playing six-a-side. I thought it was five-a-side. Five-a-side's normally a nice little small... welcome, Loopy, mate. Nice little small... half of a width of a fucking football pitch. Small, nice pitch. Turns out it was six-a-side, and it was half of a football pitch. I'm absolutely broken. I'm too old for this shit. Welcome, Dan, mate. Oh, dear me. Can I release someone to get him? Yeah. So what I've done, Dan... let's see some transfers then. Yeah, excellent. Right, so the big early news is that the transfer big boys have had a move cancelled due to too many foreigners in the squad. Let's have a look. So 47 of the 50 players are foreign, so I understand that that's too many foreigners, but as you are supposed to be able to have as many fucking foreigners as you want on this, shouldn't be an issue at all. What I have done is I have got rid of a few staff members, Bobby Gold in particular. Hopefully, of course you can release someone, mate. Yeah. It's your squad. Do with what you desire. But that will put you at a disadvantage at the end of the season. Like I said, I've released Bobby Gould, so that should, in theory, free up a foreigner space, so we should be okay there, hopefully. But yes, let's as Maxi didn't come in, let's go back to last week's tactic there. Are we going with last week's lineup as well? Really happy to have that up on screen again. It's a very similar lineup anyway, to be honest, isn't it? Let's have a look. Is that the same? It is indeed. I don't know, Dan, if I'm honest, but it worked before. I think it was your team actually, Tato. No, because of the way I do the save. So I save the week's save the day of the game or the day before the next game. So usually it is too short notice for many signings to go over the line. Same lineup, yes, of course, mate. Yeah, there we go. And then who do you want as sub number 4? Because obviously Diop has come in now instead. You had Darbo last time. Is Usman Darbo again, presumably? Yeah, no danger, thought as much. To be honest, most teams have taken the opportunity to put in some out-of-league bids this week. I have. Got lovely, there we go. So, hang on, let me have a look at the fixtures for the week. There we go. So the big headline act, as you can imagine, is second place third Dudley Hill versus Castor Troy, and last on though will be the Funky Unicorns play, or at least attempt to play, against top of the league. It pains me to say, minimum interest. Fair play. We will. Let's have a look. Who we will go with first. So what we'll do is I'll give Dimble a nudge, let him know that he is going to be on. But as Fifey's not going to be here, we will do Dimble again. Dimble's Hurricanes against Fifey's Devils. I'll just quickly give Dimble a nudge. Although I have obviously seen Noopy's around, so I should give me a shout, mate. Soon would be good. In that case, then, Steve would like to be on early. Although we've got no sign of rocks yet. So I'll give him a nudge as well. It's a real shame that we're missing on early round rocks if you're around. But yeah, in the interim, we will play Dimble against the Devils. Looks alright, in fairness, Dan. I haven't had a quick look at them. Looks alright. There we go. So, back to game week 1 for the Devils. Tenino on an absolute tear. Recently, 6 goals in 7, taking him to the not quite the top of the scoring charts, but fucking hell, I'm so knackered. I have to run about for a bit. Oh, thank God for roll-on, roll-off subs. Jesus wept. Playing 11-a-side again on Sunday. I don't know if I've got the minerals for it. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, back to what had been working previously. There's a few personal changes as well. Elise and Dugarry getting their first action of the season. And the Hurricanes sticking with what they know. The only change there is Agat and Romeo drop out for a Forikey and Bonotto. There we go. And we shall see how we go. Dimble obviously doing very well in the other league that Fifey no longer runs. to give him more time to focus on the Devils. Can't believe we're going to get another very rare goalless 45 minutes. All but Barry Ferguson on either a 6 or a 7. As has been absolutely nothing happening so far, we shall let it roll to 60. Certainly looks like the Hurricanes are more likely of the two to score. Yeah, look a little better stats wise, and looks like they've improved a bit. Let's have a look. Ratings wise as well. Balshov's attacking. Yeah. And Balshov swap them over. I think that's pretty much all you do for now. For the Devils, enough is not been good enough. Give Dugarry a start. Tonino obviously not getting the service. I think you probably look at Thompson for invincible as well. And I tell you what, we'll go triple subs for all those 6s. And do that. See if that changes anything fortune-wise for either team. Rock's excellent. We shall get you on next. And that is the deadlock broken in the 84th minute. And Tonino with a... Tonino! Oh, wow. 84 minutes of drab 0-0 adjacent football. And 6 minutes of absolute carnage. This is the small horse. Wow. I will let Dimble and Fifey know how that's panned out. Nothing happened for 84 minutes. Wow. Absolute scenes. Just let that one breathe there. Match that. Very, very even on paper. The difference is Tonino again. Wow. Unreal. And as Roxy's there and Steve has asked to go early doors, get them on next. Dudley Hill going back to, similar to the Devils, going back to week 1 when they were doing so well. 2 at the back again. Some personnel changes. But pretty much the Dudley Hill you'd expect to see. And now you're here, Rox, you have sent me 2 new tactics. You are perfect. I was going to say you're away from home. New tactic, lovely. No worries, Steve, no worries at all. So, Renfield it is. Renfield, there we go. And new tactic alert. Let me just double check. No big thick rings around the outside. No, we're okay. Cavallero, and I'm expecting Kufre and Mendes. Yes, there we go. And this will probably be the same as ever. Michelini, Juan Gomez, and Paulino Santos. I'd expect to see probably Sava on the left, Madavia on the right, D'Alessandro, AMC, and then it'll be down to, could be any two of those four strikers realistically. Interesting to see who he picks. Hasn't confirmed D'Alessandro, but I'd be very, very surprised if it wasn't. And Jimenez, striker, there we go. Klim, Casas, Delgado on the bench. And that transfer recently, I believe, was it just after that last game, there we go, is Marcelo Delgado. So that is the first of the new signings, getting a run out today. And there we go. Just make sure you're happy with that, Mr. Rocks. Just give me a thumbs up or a yay or an A. All good, lovely. There we go. Of course, a lovely awkward number. Second plays third. Who will strike the first blow? Dudley Hill dropping the first of their points in the last couple of weeks. Not on as good a form as they have been. Troy, on the other hand, resurgent and continue that good form with a Guede goal just after the half-hour mark. Seems to be, and I was about to say, seems to be the away team in the ascendancy. Certainly shows it in the stats as well. And a dominant Guede first up. Stick till 60, thought that might be the case, or the Casas, as it may be. Not playing badly, in fairness, the home side, on the face of things. Just the difference there being one of the centre-backs and one of the strikers. Expect changes on the hill. I'm not sure where that change would come. Condition-wise, everyone's absolutely fine. So the only two candidates to be staying exactly where they are would be Addo for Hope. Okay. Yeah, on the yellow card, makes sense. Addo for Hope, Max and Sanyo, and Bell and MR, with arrow diagonal to AMC. Presumably like so, rather than how I did that to Neto Arrow. And to Neto for the sales. He was also on yellow. There we go. And as ever, just give me the thumbs up, let me know. And Panucci for Ricard. We are going. One at the back, three up top. Excellent. Balls to the wall. Love to see it. One at the back, Ricard and yeah, okie dokie, no problem. With an arrow like so. Cool. So in that case then, are these arrows like that? Or as they were before? Let me know on them arrows, mate, as well. First arrows, I thought so. There we go. So, excuse me while I'm eating. Sweet. Is that going to change the tide of game? Cheers, no problem at all. Right. I mean, it sort of does, in as much as you're 3-0 down now instead of 2-0 down. Absolutely devastating performance from Castor Troy. And it's not as if you can't say that Steve hasn't tried to change the game there as well. As is, yeah. I don't blame you. Chris Hope has come on and done very, very well. Alongside Soroczynski, who is playing well. Sean Davis is playing okay. But this is just an absolute masterclass. Santos having a worldie again. I cannot remember the last game that Paulinho Santos didn't have a fucking good game. Unreal. And Steve's right, yeah. At least Roxall deserves to win this one. Certainly does. Klim for Jim. Castor Troy. Love it. Casas for Guede. Delgado for Andres Savar. Swap to AMC. Guede he's absolutely been fantastic. All four of those strikers, none of which I have tried at any point in any game, just have not let rocks down at any point. He's not in the Super League database. And I think we just need to get this one over. Put Stee out of his misery. Doesn't even get that penalty shout there. An absolute consummate performance from the Scots. Sometimes you just cannot get a hand on a team like this. How he managed to get England caps? Or do they become English after a certain amount of years? Yeah, residency. Fair play. I like that. Yeah, absolute wash through there. About 6 seasons in, yeah, makes sense. Completely deserves that one. You can only hold your hands up for that one. There you go. Ratings, yeah, sorry mate, I thought I'd pop them on. As I'm only doing the one game this week, I'm trying to take my time. No worries at all, Rocks, mate. No worries at all. Yes, they've certainly given you something to think about, Steve. They've come on and given you an option. Nice, mate. Appreciate it. Good effort. I mean, it's not very often you get beat 3-0 and not a single player on your team, all 11 and all 3 subs, nobody got below a 6. Just the better team. Just the better team, realistically. Right, Noopy is here. And I will let Matt know that they're next. Matt on next. Get that one sorted. And that should leave that game, our game. Yeah, should be fine. So no massive changes, I think, for Ban River, at least player-wise. A little bit of a change-up in formation. Very similar, actually, in fact, to the formation we just saw Rocks play, with that sort of 2 there with a 3 in front. Just have a quick check of some of those circles. I know, I'm not saying that we don't trust you anymore, Noopy, but once bitten, twice shy, etc., etc. Good to see Savo, the lone target man, up top on his own this week. I had to change things up as 2 of the sort of ever-presents this season in Parmo Bukar and Radoslav Kaluzny, both out for the week, suspended and injured. Interesting to see how this one goes, and as Rox has just pointed out, there's a little bid for one Mr. Patricio Camps, and nobody will be surprised to hear best seconds. As I said, mate, once bitten, twice shy. Last game potentially in the Real E colours for Patricio Camps. And nobody will be surprised to hear who has made a big money bid for him. And let's see. No real changes for Really at all. Not having the best of luck with his goalkeepers. So Mondragon coming in and competing there, not the worst idea. And throwing Nikolaidis into the mix of Javin and Halcher, etc. And Sahar. Not the worst shout, to be honest. Does probably leave Really a little short in attacking midfield. But we'll see how we go. Yeah, it wasn't Noopy. No, it was Matt. Michael Hughes, the Northern Irishman, a Minitis. Wow. Only took 6 minutes to get back on level terms. And talking of Northern Irishmen, Neil Lennon had a bid accepted by Ban River, immediately rejected a move away from Celtic, was having none of it. Tried, mate, I tried. It's been called into the league, Tato. Formalities now. There you go. I tell you what, I didn't realise he was. He was still playing for a long time. Second oldest player to play in a World Cup. So who then would be the oldest player? okay to 60, no problem. Let me have a think. Saudi keeper. I was thinking maybe someone like Rafael Marquez, El Hadari. Oh, yeah, the Egyptian goalkeeper. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I was thinking maybe. Yeah, maybe. So in that case, then, who would have been the oldest outfield player? It's got to be either Rafael Marquez or Blanco for Mexico, maybe. Or Roger Miller was quite old, yeah. Ali Dyer for Iran, maybe. Let's have a look. If we go until 60 there. 42 was Roger Miller, fair enough. Let's have a look. Sarah not playing particularly well. Neither's Oliveira. Might see Gary Teal at some point, or Shefty Kuki, but we'll both go till 60 for the time being. Ban River. Oh, I thought there was a third there for Ban River as well. Not quite to be. Let's have a look stat-wise. Certainly in the ascendancy, the home team. Deserve to be on top as it stands. The Haychick not doing as well out on the right as he has been doing through the middle. Doesn't mean that he will be one of the candidates to be substituted. Couple of players there not as high up condition-wise as everybody else. Michael Hughes may be a candidate here for substitution with that yellow card and having the lowest condition, but he is also Northern Irish, so I'm not sure if spread the DM line please, one central or the two wide, narrow the AMC, no problem. Elliot off, Solis on. Trulich on for Savo. No problem. Any arrows? No, that's me good to go. Lovely stuff. I will reiterate again though, you don't need to play any width this season. The only caveat in terms of tactics is no whip wob. Otherwise, be free to do what you want to do. There we go. And there you go, as is shown here. Arrows on wide DMs, no problem. And AMs if possible, absolutely fine. All three, or just the two wide ones. Let me know, and I'll tell you what, I'll put him there for a minute while I do some subs for Matt. And Sarah really not pulling up any trees. We'll swap those two over as well. Who is playing worse, Javan or Mahalcha? Both okay. Javan slightly less condition. So Shefty Kuchi comes on. Just wide, central AM, no arrow, perfect. That is how I would have done it as well. Lovely. So in that case then we will go right through to 90. Can really get back in it. Lost 2 games on the spin last week in the double game week. Don't want to make it 3 in a row, and Mahalcha levels thing up. And very much been in the ascendancy since that 60-minute change. But Michael Hughes with his 5th goal of the season right in the 90th minute. As if it's not been a good enough weekend in Ireland with the rugby result over St Patrick's Day weekend. Wow. That is the second 90th minute winner in 4 games. Unreal. Again, both teams played pretty well. 8 shots against 6 on target. Both played really well there. Just snuck that one over the line. Cannot complain if you are Noopy there. Congratulations, mate. Well deserved. Let's let Arsenal know he's up next. As well as Legends. Hey, look, condition is a myth. I at 85% at 60 minutes, I wouldn't necessarily ever take anybody off. But as he was on a yellow card, I would have considered it. But you very much proved me to know absolutely fuck all. Completely, understandably ignored. Done very well as well. A couple of little tactical changes for Shamrock Select. Apparently they'd already done that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so same as last match. Have I missed anything? Did they have a bye last game out? Is that why? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they had a bye last game out. That's why. Didn't need to do anything. Yeah, lovely, there we go. No problem at all. So, yeah, same as, and same as. Nobody will be shocked. It's been doing pretty well, actually, Tato. I will just jump into... Yeah. A goal and assist in 9 games, 7.11. Not horrendous. Done alright there in the middle of midfield. Keep it on fast for the time being in case Arsenal pops up at some point. Potentially got a very sore head after the weekend. But this is the game we expect goals in. Minimum of 5 goals in every Flamingos game. 1 already. And a second. Usually it's 5 goals against. Joey Dunn yet to get his customary goal, and it does look like those 2 centre-backs there are not faring as well against the 2 sweepers. No need for Flamingos to do anything at all. What do I think we would see here? The change is going to be, you reckon? Ordinarily I'd say Kiko, but he's been the star man all season. You cannot take him off at any point, just in case. So I reckon you go Harasimovic, and then we'll have a look at 60 minutes whether Boateng for Nudu. Potential option. Yeah, so we'll go to a 60, see how we go. Keeper must be having an absolute worldie for the Flamingos. So shots have been raining down. Just hasn't come off yet. Kiko, very, very quiet. Uncharacteristically so. And I reckon, unfortunately, he's going to have to be the man that makes way for Derek Bratek, as both the strikers are actually doing alright. And Flamingos, let's have a look. No, don't need any changes there, doing alright. 3 more goals to come if past games are to go by. But I'm not seeing any more goals as it stands. And a very uncharacteristic scoreline for the Flamingos as they take 3 points to bring them to within a point of their opponents in the what is now the bottom of the table clash. Unlucky. Ebbs, I believe, mentioned he's not going to be involved tonight, so has gone as is. Let's just double check. Did he say? Not home for a few hours at least. No problem. I think, if I remember rightly, Ebbs also plays 5-a-side or 6-a-side on a Monday night. So it may be that he customarily pops in right as he's about to kick off. And Dan, as we saw at the start, unfortunately, Maxi doesn't get in time due to some odd foreigner glitch in the Matrix. So go back to as was in the previous game. Do you want to give me a squad number for Milenchuk? 25. There we go. Was ahead of the curve as I knew he would be. There we go. Lovely. So, as we've just seen, just about off the bottom there now. Out of that bottom of the table dogfight are the DAW and AAFC. Sandfields, with that victory over myself last week, or last game week at least, have got themselves well and truly into playoff contention, especially after that last minute winner for Noopy, who, as it stands, will replace really in the playoff picture by virtue of the extra game being played. Oh, that didn't take long for Rob Lee. Oh, sorry, no, Jamal Tahar, not Rob Lee. Lasted only the blink of an eye. 7 minutes, 8 minutes he managed. Oof. There we go. And as I've noticed, for the first sort of 5 or 6 game weeks, we're having a goal within the first 10 minutes in almost every game. And as soon as I started picking up on it, it's not a single fucking goal in the first 10 minutes. Lots of off-target shots for Sandfields, the opposite for DAW. But no breakthrough as yet. fairly even in terms of ratings on both sides. Doesn't need to be anything changed, I don't think. For the away team, we'll give Dan conditions. Of course, don't you worry, Dan. Oof, Ibrahim Saeed is under 90% at 45-minute mark. And I know for a fact that Dan is one member of the small horse who does not believe the condition is a myth. Play to 60, not a problem at all. Will the deadlock be broken before that 60-minute mark? And it will. Hasn't he done well? And Justin Jocelyn as well. Makes it 2-0. Straight after half time. Oof. A big 64th minute substitution break needed from the assistant to the regional Sandfields manager, Mr. Rodeo Bibbins Mega Horse himself. Again, in my eyes, nothing too drastic condition-wise. I'd be more worried about Kennedy 6, Diop 6, Walter Harrison, both strikers on 6s as well. You know, your 4 most attacking players all on 6s is not ideal. And only the one attacking threat on the bench as well. That is what I'd be more worried about. How will the fields of sand respond? Diop off for Johnny Allen, putting him on the left of front 3. Push the wide men forward with arrows to wide AMC. Arrows to AM. Yeah, so like that, Dan, yeah? Ricardo Afonso, yeah, is a freebie that Dan found tucked away on the save there. Not one I've ever seen before. Done very well in his first 7 games so far. Yeah, I don't know if he's a save specific player. Yeah, no idea. There we go. See how we go. Brilliant. Okay, and Daves doesn't need to change anything there. Let it roll. Let it ride. I was about to say, I reckon this one has got more goals in it, and didn't he done well? Makes it 3 for the away team. And that is the reason for that. 1 shot on target versus 8. Absolutely dog shit in front of goal today. Yeah, it does seem to be. I've seen that Javi De Campo that you found once in a blue moon he can get okay. Yeah, Portuguese through Helder Rosario can be fantastic at times, can be bang average at times. Yeah, one of the more reliable. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's one of them that just wasn't to be. Saeed having an absolute storming game again. He's done really well in that ridiculous huge arrow game. Ironically, GX Georgiadis, a favourite, I know, of yours, Dan, has had a very good game against you. Michael done well, very, very done well. So, in case I missed anything, there we go, everybody's happy now. And to finish off the stream, my star goalkeeper, who's been fucking brilliant so far this season, of course, is injured for the game against top of the fucking table. So, I have gone a little more defensive this week. Brought one of those midfielders back into defensive midfield and moved one of the attacking midfield options a bit further forward so that we're not too defensive. Hopefully Ndai pulls his fucking finger out. He's not been very good so far this season. I don't want to jinx it, but in Yepes and Lembo, I have found my defensive partnership that I like, and have two of the top sort of 3 or 4 performing players in my squad, and now I've jinxed them. Expect 6 or 7 to go past them today. Anelka, who bagged a couple last week to bring him to the top of the scoring charts. We shall see. PRG he is. There's only 6 in the in my half, so no, he couldn't be anywhere near the squad, obviously. No, it'd be interesting to see that. So Hector Carini gets his first squad position. Well, if you weren't so fucking good at the game, you prick, then I wouldn't need to. Also, one of the newest signings I brought in. There you go. Dan and me, similar. I've got similar opinions on quite a few players, in fairness. I like what he's been doing at the Gazelles there. And this is a player that I've never had before. I like, that's not ideal. Oh, fuck off, Dan. What do you do to these players? Fuck's sake. But yeah, Monterrey, Mexico in particular, is a Sandrino I like. He was in last season's squad. Juan Arango, another I like. Did he not collapse on the pitch? Oh shit. Minovan I've had decent in the past, although he doesn't start there, he's obviously on a free. Yeah, Arango was with you in the Attack at 31 lost in Greece. Yeah, there's Atlante. I like a few of the players. I've had a very good Aaron Padilla in the past. No, not in this version. Love that he plays up front with Faustino Asprilla, nutter that he is. And Jesus, that must have been some team at that point. Jorge Campos and Faustino Asprilla in the same team. That must have been a fucking good night out, that. Wow. Love that. But yeah, I like to pick up a player from Mexico every now and then. And Tato, I don't think you said anything about your team, but you kept as is from last game. Give me a nudge if you didn't want to do that. Just double check. As is, yeah. So I'm just rolling it back. All you've done is ask for about 15 out of league transfers. So double checking. So here we go. Purple and gold against yellow and blue. Top of the table plays middle of the pack. As the form book goes, this should be, as I say that, about to suggest an easy win for the away team, and they go 1-0 up. So good for the away team. I don't think I created anything at all in that half. 2 from 2. 3 on target out of 8, and I'm probably lucky. The keeper's doing alright. Probably lucky that only 3 were on target, and I have not got, apart from Z Roberto, 3 of that sort of 4 are not done very well at all. So yeah, as Rux has suggested, I think I'm going to have to go a bit more attacking. Let's match him up. Lembo. Right, who is playing worse, Undai or Baronio? Who's got the worst condition? 95, 91, Baronio it is. 4. Pahars. No, you can keep asking every week, but no, he's not for sale. He will never be for sale. If he's not very good for me, nobody else can have him. I will let him rot in the reserves rather than selling him. So everybody knows how good he can be, unless he's playing for me. The prick. Well, it looks slightly better from me there. It was not. Just the one shot off target for me, and Tato as well. No, one shot on target for Tato, I should say. In that last couple of minutes. Die has been shit again. Anelka not doing anything, so... Fact, no. Going 2 up top, something I never do. In fact, fuck it. Let's go 3 up top. As is for me, you absolute prick. No, this is not finishing 1-1, this is finishing 2 or 3 now. It's going to be really fucking annoying. Oh, hit the woodwork. Oh, it does look all me as well. What a signing! Get in there, you slag. Oh, the only other shot I had on target in the second half. Oof. Not convinced that was deserved. Keeper did very well. Chewy has had a fucking good game. And finally, he's turned up in the final 30 minutes of the game. He played. Those two at the back have played well again. Keeper's done alright when he's come in. Yeah, I think the not making a substitution there has absolutely killed you there, Tato. Not freshening up, I think, has been the downfall there. Although 8s and 7s across the board for everybody, I changed out the 6s. Everybody else finished above that, so. Stee and Rocks, you are welcome. Still unbeaten though is Tato. And that just about keeps me in the hunt for a playoff place. Although that is very much of course, mate. I'll go back to that. That one, sorry. There we go. No problem. Boring Super League standard, exactly. 3 clean sheets this week. Oof. No nil-nils though. Does the E stand for entertainers? Value for money at Matt's ground? Yes, very much so. Yeah, not ideal though. For really, as that's 3 losses on the bounce now. Form-wise, of course, Castor Troy at the top with minimal interest. The Bra, 36 double D, along with the Resurgent DA double. Legends did win as well to bring them off, not quite off the bottom, but to within touching distance of Shamrock, right down there at the bottom. Yeah, 3 losses on the bounce after being very, very steady, really. Matt might very well be looking at some changes now with a couple of new players potentially on the way in. Flamingos stopping the rot of 4 losses on the bounce, finally getting that win. Unfortunately, Shamrock Select have taken up that mantle of the out of form team. Dudley Hill with 2 losses. Oof. Goal scorers, of course. Rayad and Souza right up the top there with Babangida and Nicky Ferenko as well. 4 of the top 5 all for minimal interest. That is not good viewing. Helton there, absolutely gutted to be missing him. Goals, Tenino tops the table after his brace tonight. Sits just above Anelka, D'Alessandro, Romeo and Javan. And Michael Hughes, he's indeed creeping up into the top 10 there from midfield. Did very, very well there in 5 goals. Good value for it as well. In terms of assists, Rayad's still up the top there. At a canter, almost double the next 2 behind him. The rest very evenly spread between Castor Troy and Dudley Hill. Really, very much so. Hughes would say. Interesting. Next up, Rox plays the Swan Horse. The in-form Ebbs plays the now slightly better formed Flamingos. 4th place, 5th, the Devils against Sparta, that'd be a good one. And Tato against Ban River. For Noopy, that should be a top of the table game. That really out of form against Dudley Hill, also out of form. So one of those two could get themselves back into the mixer. And that bottom end of the table, Hurricanes against Shamrock as well, as I get another rest week. And there is the big game there, the week after. With only 3 days in between, I could potentially try and get a double in. Whereby first place, third, what could be, if I'm right in thinking, could be second by then, unless the Devils, who snuck a win right in the last seconds again, could very well be joining them. So yeah, quietly creeping up there, the Devils, who will also be playing at top end of the table there in Dudley Hill. Very interesting week there. So yeah, we will try and get touch me where it smells funny. Try and get a double in. Let's have a think. There's no Super League tomorrow, is there? Try and squeeze one in tomorrow, potentially. See how we go. In the interim, I'll save it up, obviously. As I've not broken, touch wood, I've not broken anything yet this season. See if any of these transfers come through. While I click through, get the save up and running, and available for people to peruse at their leisure. And yeah, get your teams in as soon as you can. And hopefully, another bid rejected for George Boateng. Don't think he's coming. There we go. There's another one available for you. Click through some transfers. That's what we're really here for in the league, aren't we? Let's be honest. You don't want Pato. Well, he's not coming anyway, is he? So you can have him. When is the next fixture? 5th of December, wasn't it? There we go, so we've got time yet. There we go. We've got one half of the Patricio Camps deal sorted. Man United want Baronio. Can't have it. Fuck off. And that's Nikolaides set for him as well. Just Camps. What does Ronald Gomez look like on here? I shall have a look when I click through to your name. There we go. Jamil is through the door. I'll be honest, looks pretty fucking good. Is the answer, Tato? That is a lot of dark red. High numbers. 7 in 12. Evening, Matt. I'll tell you what, you missed a painful last minute loss. You weren't the only one to lose in the last minute of the game, in all honesty. But unfortunately, Matt, that does mean that is now 3 losses on the bounce. The most embarrassingly of all, one of which was to me. Looks like you have a keeper on his way. in the form, and while you're here you can confirm or deny that that is the deal on the table before that one goes through and he sneaks it in. But yeah, it certainly looks like Mondragon and Nicolaitis could be coming in. Yes, agreed. Lovely. Yeah, just seeing if any of the transfers come through. Oh, that is also painful to see, isn't it? Hakan Mill, Player of the Month. That's nice to see. And Rayad, Young Player of the Month. Oof. Don't know if we're going to get that one through the door, Rocks. I'll be honest. We should continue to try that. Excellent. Helton looks like he might be back for the next game. Celebrate the signing of Jamili. Not a player I've ever heard of. Looks decent. Decent enough, certainly for this level. The fans are buzzing for it. Yes, I have done, mate. Yeah, hopefully come through the door. And Tato, you need to. Oh, fuck are you, slag? Oh, it's at the top. You need to get rid of one of your players down into the reserves. So give us a shout away there. What? How is that unhappy? Fuck are you unhappy about? A bit off, no problem. Tell you what, just in case, let's give him another new contract. What the fuck is wrong with you, miserable prick? Oh well, it could be worse. It could be as miserable as half of my team. The irony that half of my squad is fucking miserable, and the one player who isn't is Nicholas Anelka. Madness. He's buzzing. Managed to keep him happy this entire time, scoring goals. Miserable. Fucking ridiculous. Alright, how long's he got left? A few days. That explains why there's a game. Yeah, there's not a game here. But I like shinies. Ooh. I've not seen that before. We're sad to see that our fans' enthusiastic support for the team appears to be waning. Oof. I don't know where you found this fucker, but everybody is buzzing for him to be in. Ridiculous. There we go. That's another one whose support's waning. And there we go. Camps is in the door. Ooh. Right. If you're still here, Matt, you have a decision to make. Ooh. How is Shootos on this save? I shall have a look. There isn't any shit youth players. Chris Carruthers would be the cheapest one, I would imagine, to release. If Matt's not here, what I'll do is I will delay the deal by a week so that it's not cancelled, and then give Matt time to sell some players. What I would suggest, everybody, is slide into Matt's DMs, sharpish. See if you can get yourself a cheap deal. Just giving him a nudge. But it may be, Rocks, that we do have to delay that by a week. In fact, I'm gonna make that decision. We'll delay it by a week, rather than binning anybody off on a freebie. Oh, Matt. Right, so you have. Sorry, Rox. Basically, you have too many players in your squad now. Because you're already at 50. You're letting one go and bringing two in, so now you're going to be at 51. So you need to sell somebody within the league. Before that deal can go through. I'm going to do it that way. The way that the end of the season transfer window is going to work, that we're not selling off, are not going to release anybody, because you're going to need player sales at the end of the season. Let's going to go back around to Rocks now to say accept. Alright. So, Matt, I would suggest. Ooh. That's not a surprise. Give him the old Saudi Ronaldo offer. Yes, Matt, so I would suggest you start sliding into some DMs, offering players out on a 1-for-2 basis, etc. Right, can we get Maxi through the door this time? Come on, let's see it. Hey, there we go, Maxi worked this time. The issue was Bobby Gould. So, right, at the end of the season, Rocks, it's not been officially revealed yet, but as has been the plan all along, had we ever managed to get a save stable enough to get to Season 2, at the end of the season, there is going to be a transfer window specific to excess players within the squad that people won't want moving forward. And to keep that as competitive as I want it to be, you're not going to want to release players, and that's going to be the same for everybody. So nobody can release any players, and you're not going to want to. And now let's bring Maxi into the first team squad. Look at that. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that, Rocks. And that is exactly what you want in a forward player. Plenty of dribbling and flair. No finishing whatsoever. Or passing. Or crossing. Or creativity. Good in big matches, though. Interesting to see if he can be another one that performs as well as Afonso has done so far this season. Interesting. Kolosny back following his knee injury. That'd be a very, very good be like having a new signing, that will. Yeah, so if, for instance, Matt did bin off one of his players now, it would be potentially quite a big loss come the end of the season. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. The way this deal has worked out, probably a good, annoying obviously for you, Rocks in particular. Desperate to get caps through the door, obviously. But yeah, it will also help with, for fuck's sake, what is wrong with them? It will also help with people being able to get rid of... Alright, everyone's fucking happy at Dudley Hill. And it's Sunfield as well, apparently. Ah, there you go. Unhappy players, like so. Players that don't want to be in Australia. People feeling it's time to move on. As most teams have players like that. Me more than fucking most, in fairness. Doesn't look like there's going to be any more transfers coming through the door before the game week. Do not want him leaving at all, do they? I think any more Rocks is just going to get cancelled. But we'll keep trying. Yeah, I'll get another bash, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. That. Not a problem. Look at that. Could be some shiny new signings in the door for Tato. Players looking to be fit again. Signing number 2 out of league for minimal interest. Will Stefan Schwartz be as wanted as Jamila Jamili will be? Who? Game saved. Yep, no, not a problem, Rocks. I was just making sure that we get everything over the line. Right, so... Where is it? There we go. Oh, fuck. Hang on. So here is the reserves. Some not bad options in there, to be honest. I would probably steer clear of these miserable pricks. Swanso, forgot he was there. Mostly available. There we go. Might have a little word with you about Eduardo Costa. Galletti is a good one, yeah, you're not wrong. I think you're going to struggle to get the key through the door rocks, but try. Yeah, it's going to be the case for. I had the same problem with Javi Moreno, who I agreed to sell to Steve, and he wants to fuck off back home. So, unfortunately, let's go by nationality for you. Look, so Carbonara, Galletti. Where else are we going for your South Americans? There, Eduardo Costa, Sorondo, but he might go Sorondo. Attention, and Diego Gavilan, Paraguayan as well. It literally won't make any difference transfers to him, because he just doesn't want to be anywhere near he just doesn't want to be in Australia. Doesn't want to be in Australia at all. But I should pop the save up. I will drop a squad list of Matt's squad into the reserve squad into the chat as well, so that people can see that there are players available to jump on. Let's save it there. Get that straight in now. Still top of the pile with that game in hand. Still unbeaten. It's slags. Minimal interest. Fair play. Decent. Yeah, no, I think it's save specific. In fairness. I don't think I increased the popularity of the Australian League enough in the save, and I think that's the issue. And yeah, people don't don't really want to be there for some fucking reason, but don't know if there's any way I can correct that now without breaking it entirely, so we have to live with it. Soz. But yeah, as always, goals galore, minimum interest, win. Oh, no, they didn't, they drew last minute. Antonio Denegris, one lad. Excellent. Rodeo can take Lauren. Okay. Where is he? It's because I'm looking for his name. Swan Horse, obviously. Just sorting a deal with Matt. No problem at all. I'll be sat at the computer all day tomorrow, so whatever you work out, let me know and I'll get that sorted. Ian the Instren, I shall see you tomorrow most likely. All good fun as ever. I need to lie down because I'm in a lot of pain as an old man trying to play six-a-side. All good fun. Catch you soon enough.